What is FurrowVision? What is this system going to do for me?
Yeah, when we think about products, we actually really like to start with the customer problem or the customer pain point. Three things tend to kind of surface to the top of the list, and that would be more consistently achieving seed depth or target seed depth, more consistently achieving high quality furrows, and more consistently sort of getting clean furrows, and doing that on each and every acre within their operation. FurrowVision is actually our solution to that problem, and so we like to say we're literally shining a flashlight into the furrow. And so what FurrowVision actually is from a hardware point of view is it's a camera, an LED or a light, and a laser. And this system is kind of positioned between gauge wheels and the closing wheels. And it lets us see the furrow forming in real time. With that camera, with that LED and that laser, we can characterize things like the quality of the furrow and see the depth of the furrow and really get a good picture for how we're operating the planter and how well we're achieving those three goals or those three problems that our customers are asking us to help them solve. So am I getting consistent depth? Am I getting a good furrow? And am I getting the clean furrow?
There's a couple components to that. You talked about putting that in between the closing wheels and the gauge wheels. Does this go on every single row across the planter?
When we've kind of done some analysis to look at, let's say, the variability across the planter and trying to optimize for the right cost and value of this system, what we saw was an opportunity to basically break the planter into sections. So we do 3 per planter, left, middle, and right. And there's a specific row we would be assigned to based on the size of the planter that the customer is operating.
So when we do that, we put those 3 cameras across the planter, regardless of the size. What are the outcomes that the customer is going to see when utilizing it? You talked about consistent depth and some things around the furrow. How are they able to utilize FurrowVision in order to see those outcomes?
FurrowVision is 3 cameras, right, spread across your planter. But there's more than that, and a lot of it comes down to the experience you have when you're sitting in the seat and looking at your display. So with FurrowVision, you will get residue detection. You will be able to look at your furrow and get depth readings, and you'll be able to see some differences in how your furrow forms as you plant a field or as you start the season or go throughout the rest of your planting season. So as we think about getting to more consistent depth, right, if you have the ability to monitor and look at your depth on every single acre, you're able to notice, hey, my opener blades are wearing down and I may have lost a 1/4 inch of depth over the course of a long planting season. And you can make a depth adjustment so that you're actually getting to the right depth instead of shallowing up over time. That also happens on things like wear parts, or if you maybe have an older planter, we can put FurrowVision as a precision upgrade on older planters. And what we've found in working with customers is we've actually been able to identify some of those wear parts on planters through using FurrowVision and picking up the variability in depth that we wouldn't even have thought to check for maybe on that planter yet. So as we think about not just depth, but also residue, as you're planting, you're able to identify residue with FurrowVision, and you can see where that residue might be getting hairpinned in the furrow, where it might be flowing too much past your row cleaners and getting into the trench. And those are going to cause negative outcomes for your seed. You can make adjustments proactively with your row cleaners to solve those problems, or we can do other things like understanding how management choices around your tillage practices or around even combine settings might be affecting the residue that's going to impact our planter the next year.